So I'm going to go through the business intelligence portion of our solution. So I'll go over here to try it, and I'll hit enter, and this will take me to my homepage. So as a user, I can come to this business intelligence homepage and see all the information that I need to be able to support decision making, to be able to support me in my job. Note here we've got some alerts. We have the ability within the solution to put logic, to embed logic into the solution to allow us to be notified. Let's say when something happens or some actions to be taken. So for example, maybe we want to know when someone has a group of people are going to have their certification expire within some time frame. In this case, that can be identified by the system. Actions can be taken. In this case, the action is being notification. So I'm going to open this alert up. You see it has content. So this content will tell me, in this case, due to training by people, I've got some people whose certifications are about to expire or have expired. So I can get that alert if I'd like to go ahead and take action on it. So I'll go ahead and close that. And now let's open a dashboard. And again, here's just a dashboard. We've got several tabs in our dashboard: manpower, RMC, shop, shipyard. In this case, this is the people who are qualified to work in repair. Again, these dashboards can all be created by end users. They can be deployed very easily throughout the application. They can be embedded into the application itself or sit on dashboards. In this case, here I am, I can look down and see what people, what persons have particular qualifications. And here are some listed: avionics, electronic technician, electronics mate, or such. And then I can just go ahead and choose that person. So I'm going to try to find people that are available for it. So I picked avionics electronic technician, and here's person 20. Note I also can have graphs here. I've got a graph off to the right hand side that'll tell me the count, the people that have the certification, and again, those that are qualified and non-qualified. Just again, if I want to be able to maybe create an executive dashboard or something that would represent that data. So I can drill into, notice person 20 I had the ability to drill into, and I can look at more detail with this person. In this case, just looking, this person, what, obviously aviation electronics may qualify. Here are the statuses, here are all the courses they've taken, there's their location. Again, I can go down and see other qualifications. Maybe we're going to bring this person on to do a particular job. They may have other qualifications associated with it. I'll go ahead and return to that dashboard. Again, here I can now find persons, find a position by person here. And again, I can just go down. And in this case, it'll show me all the details right in the dashboard, what their credentials are and what they're certified. Let's go over to RMC. And here to be able to view across the Navy certifications and training status. And we can really create any objects, any reports, any analysis we wanted. We just created a couple here to give you some a background on capabilities. Again, here's a drop down, so I can look across the Navy and see what the training status is. So maybe everyone that has within the next 30 days is going to have their training expire. We look at the person, the title, where they're at, the qualification, the state, and then maybe I'm going to look at 60 days. Again, have that ability to look over the entire Navy. Here I can view by training by person. So I can look at an employee and be able to see what they are and where they are in their statuses. Again, just a drop down looking at employees. And again, graphics, particularly good for executive dashboards and executive reporting. Being able to look at people, how many people do I have training expiration buckets within the next 30, 60, or have already expired. And then be able to drill in and look at the details associated with those. And again, here's just certification. So if I look across the Navy again and be able to look at people and see that. I also have the ability to notice I've launched into Excel. All that data, all those reports, all those objects are now in this right-hand panel where you see CNRMC demo. So I can access all that data. I can create my own reports, but I can also leverage those reports you saw. So let's assume I just want to be able to get a table and start doing some reporting with an Excel because that's the environment I feel good in working and I'm comfortable. Just go ahead and click on it and it'll load it in. So now I've gotten real-time data from my business intelligence server, and that's been delivered into Excel, where then I can use all the features, functions in Excel to do all the different types of reporting. Okay. Now, same thing within PowerPoint. So here I am. Again, I've opened PowerPoint. Down the side, I've got my chart here. I can go ahead, just click on this chart, and it automatically load it in. And it's loaded into my PowerPoint deck. And here it is, enterprise status by training expiration buckets. That graph you saw earlier. And I can load all of these in, connections, get real-time data. And then I only have to do the mapping once. So maybe I create this report weekly. So next week when I get this report, I can go ahead, open it up, refresh, and the data will be there. And here's another one. We just added in by position, right? So we can look at who's qualified by position. So now I can also do things like, let's assume I'm an analyst and I want to be able to perform analysis on my data. So here I am in a visualization desktop, and I can very quickly create reports, be able to create graphs, and do analysis. I can do it based on data that you saw within our solution, but I also have the ability to load worksheets in here or data from other sources. So this is a really nice way for you to be able to transcend multiple data sources across your enterprise to perform analysis on. So here I can pick some field, person, credential and such, and count, and overall. What's the overall status? I got the position, account, and the overall status, and location. And just right click. Those are the data fields. I can pick my visualization. Very easy. As you notice, all the visualizations we have: list, tree diagram, bars, scatter, maps. We can lay the data on maps. Radial lines, tables, really just a tremendous number of graphic representations of data. I'm going to pick the horizontal, and there it is, my graphs created for me. Very quickly, very dynamic, very good for data calls. If someone needs information from the solution, if they need information that's in multiple spreadsheets and need all that data put together and have a data call against that, you can very quickly put these together. All right. Again, note, I can just, if I want to here, very quickly, just change this from the horizontal stack to a tree map. Done. Back to a table. I can put color coding in it, do the shapes, the forms, and be able to manipulate all those. And here we put an area in, an area map. Here's another canvas within this dashboard. And this is one we created earlier. And we really have two things here. We've got one being a map that will represent our resources and show us on a map where those are. And again, those are all very quick, very easy to be able to create. And also a table view here, which has our position number and status. So again, I've got here my position, I've got their location, and I've got their status. So if I wanted to know cryptologic technicians and that are in PNS that are qualified, I can go ahead, click on this box, right click, and maybe I want to see who's in this, right? What people are part of this. Just keep selected. It'll filter those out. It creates filters across the top, as you can see location, position, and status. And down below, it'll highlight on the map where they're located at, and will give me the person. If you see below, I can do the person. I can also, if I would like, maybe I just want to use a map representation. In this case, here's my map. It'll show me all my avionics electricians down the side there. Represent those on a map, shows me the location. I can hit highlight, maybe in this case, a particular base, city, state, geographical area. So I right click on that, keep selected. And again, it'll show me, and I drill down into that data and show me where it's at. A lot of flexibility, a lot of ability to do analysis within that. And here's below. it's showing me all those people that are in the state of Washington that have these certifications associated with them.